Guys, we're going to go through to Rossendale's debt collection or enforcement agents, whichever they want to call themselves these days. But we're going to go through on a council tax matter, so let's... That's not quite what I wanted to hear.
Thank you for calling Rossendale Limited. To make a payment, press 1. For all other inquiries, press 2. And to listen to these options again, press hash. Please note, we cannot discuss cases with any third-party caller unless signed authority is held in the office or the named debtor is present to confirm authority to speak on their behalf. If you have received a hand-delivered letter from a bailiff, you must contact the bailiff on the mobile number provided on the letter and not the office. Please note, all calls are recorded for training and security purposes. Please input our case reference number followed by the hash key. Our case reference number is located at the top of all our correspondence. If you do not have your case reference number, please hold.
Good afternoon, you speak to Ca3. Can you confirm our reference number, please?
Innocent, remember, all we did was care for each other. But the night was warm, we were bold and young. All around, the wind blows, we would only hold on to let go. Look, it's fire gun, we need someone to lean on. Look, it's fire gun.
Okay, just to let you know, all calls are recorded for training and compliance. Okay, if you can just confirm for me your full name, address and postcode, please.
Well, I can give you the full name of the client. The client has named me to speak on his behalf. You'll find that within your paperwork. A security password has been given to me. Would you like the client's details?
What's the password, sorry?
The password is New York.
What name is, sorry?
New York.
That's the password, but what's your name?
Oh, my name's Russell Burton.
Okay, that's fine, Russell, that's fine, yeah. Thanks for calling. So I can see that we've got two cases in front of you, Russell, for Leeds City Council. Council tax for a total balance of $1,246.56.
Yep.
Are you going to clear the balance today?
Well, it's not me that's...
That's right, it's not you. So how is that going to help?
Right, well, I want to know where you are in terms of stage of enforcement with these accounts.
Right, okay, well, let's have a look. So we had somebody who arrived at the property on the 2nd of September.
So that will be stage 2, yes?
That's right, yeah. Let's have a look. Of September was spoken to on phone if you stay with his property and able to invoice the full council. Right, okay.
Can you tell me when did you receive this account from the council?
Yeah, it was originally back on the 17th of May
17th of May
2016.
2015. Okay, and what yeah, and what charges have been added to this account so far?
So, from what I can see, so there's a charge of 235 and a charge of 75.
Right.
Times 2, that is.
Times 2 for both accounts?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, and what...
But the 235 is split between the two.
Okay, yeah. So my client hasn't got those finances available to him. He's on a 0 hours contract. What are the next stages for you? Because he hasn't got the money.
Right, okay, well, like I say, it will be obviously, we need to set an arrangement up. once it's passed on to ourselves, obviously it's then out with the enforcement agent, who then obviously goes to the property to take control of goods, which again another £110 could be added on if a van's obviously bought into possession.
To take control of goods.
Yeah.
Is that what you're advising the client? That you're going to
Yeah.
that you're going to take control of his goods?
Yeah.
Have you levied his goods?
Sorry?
Have you levied his goods?
Have we done what, sorry?
Have you levied the goods already?
We haven't, no, not yet, no.
How are you going to take control of his goods then?
But okay, well, like I said, it's something that it can be on to the next stage, sir.
No, I understand your 3 stages, but how are you going to levy his goods if you haven't? How are you going to gain access to the property if you haven't already been in the property and levied his goods?
Well, obviously, when an enforcement agent arrives at the property, that's when we'll obviously won't force entry to the property.
You'll force entry. How are you going to do that, my friend?
Sorry, what was that, sir? Mr. B, what was you asked?
I think you're getting a what was your name again? Sorry.
Citrus?
Sidrus.
Yes.
Sidrus, I think you're getting a little ahead of yourself in the law. Where in the law does it state that you can force entry into this property?
No, you misheard me. I didn't say we cannot force entry, sir.
Exactly. So I'm asking you how are you going to levy those goods?
How are we going to levy those goods?
If you can't the only way that you're going to be able to levy any goods or take control of any goods is if my client invites you into the property. Yes.
That's right, yeah.
Well,
we wouldn't force entry, obviously, we'd go to the property. But again, that's up to the enforcement agents, and obviously, again, as far as I know, is when they go, obviously, they would say what they bought, for what reason they've come.
Well, I'm looking forward to meeting your enforcement agent because I've heard a nasty little phone call from your enforcement agent yesterday, Mr. Fritz, is it? I was speaking to him after this matter, and Mr. Fritz will be lucky if I don't bring charges against him. Because you seem to be acting above the law here. So what I'm going to suggest, sorry, what was your name again, Mr. Sidrus? What I'm going to suggest is that I've informed my client of his rights in this matter. I've told him that you cannot enter the property unless he invites you into the property. He will not be speaking through to you via any open or unlocked doors or windows. So what I'm going to suggest, Sidrus, is that you send this back to the council because we won't be paying your fees either.
Right, okay. Well, like I said, if it gets to that stage, then it will be passed on to the council, and then obviously whatever action the council has to take further, then obviously that's up to themselves. But at the moment, obviously, I know there's an enforcement agent on the case, but it has been returned back to us again. Yeah,
I am going to. Yeah. I'm wanting you now to pass this back on to the council because the game's up on this one, Sidrus. The client is fully aware of his rights. The client understands that you don't have any lawful capacity to be able to enter that property. All goods have been moved from outside inside, and the gentleman doesn't drive. So that really leaves you up the creek without a paddle in terms of trying to enforce this debt.
Right. Well, like I said, but the one thing, most likely in most cases what happens is once obviously it's with an enforcement agent, and obviously if they get no joy out of this, then obviously it's been passed on to us, and it goes back to the council anyway, and then when it goes to the council, you can also look at, you could be also looking at obviously sentencing as well.
Sentencing?
How far they take, you see.
Well, is that another threat there?
No, I'm just saying facts, and that's all it is. So
well, we understand. Well, it's only, you know, jail is only going to happen if you refuse to pay. We're not refusing to pay. We're refusing to pay your fees. What we want this to do is we want this to go back to the council so that my client can then negotiate a reasonable settlement with the council. We're not refusing to pay anything.
The reason it was passed on to us in the first is because it wasn't the arrangement was sat with the actual council, with the council, and it wasn't adhered to.
That's just the way.
That was passed on to us.
That's just the way. That's
we
just.
We were in charge, obviously, get the money out, get the money from the customer.
And you don't ever have to.
Our fees on there.
Yeah, I get that, but your fees are not enforceable. You can't enforce your fees. This is a civil matter. It's not a criminal matter. You cannot enforce any of these fees. You can't. In fact, you're just trying it on, really. You're just trying it on. And this is a little bit of a charade between you and the council. So you're meant to lend a bit of authority to the situation. And you haven't got any authority in this situation. In fact, my client has now got the authority in this situation. My client refuses you permission. And also, my client has now, we've cameraed the door. So if we hear any more bad language or foul language from your collection officer, enforcement officer, we prefer to call them bailiffs. You know, changing your name doesn't make you a different character.
They're all fully trained, sir.
Yes, so are doormen on doors. You know, I see them smashing people's heads in all the time. You know, I know what you say. I understand fully trained in robbing people. That's the idea. You should feel ashamed of yourselves. You're taking money off people that haven't got the money because the economy has been screwed up by... They didn't screw the economy up. They didn't screw the jobs market up. But you're in there kicking them in the teeth, trying to just get money out of them that you're not even entitled to. You know that you're not entitled to. If you were entitled to this money, you would be able to enforce this matter. But you can't enforce this matter because it's a civil matter, and all these debts that you keep accruing in this gentleman's name are just to persecute him, isn't it? Just to persecute him even further. You don't care whether he suicides. You don't care whether he takes a bottle of tablets. All you care is getting your money, and all you care about is sat there right now doing your job and paying your rent next week and paying your mortgage and your car. You have no responsibility in terms of this gentleman's health, his future, or his children's future, or their health. It's a disgraceful and utter shambolic con that you're running here.
Well, we do take matters that are so pretty serious, and we have obviously specialist teams that we then dedicate people in such cases to.
Vulnerability. Yes, sorry? Vulnerability.
It's a process, like I said.
I know your processes. I know your processes. I know them inside out. I'm advising hundreds of your clients on what these processes are. I'm not going to let you get away with this. I'm not going to let you get away with just berating and stealing off people when you have no lawful right to do it. You know that you can't collect these debts. You know that you can't enforce these debts, but you are just still sat there, aren't you, giving me excuses to make this man's life an even more of a misery. Well, it's not going to happen, my friend. Send the account back to the council. The gentleman's house will be wired up. Any further phone calls from your bailiff will be passed on to me and recorded. If you make any more assertions that this man is going to go to jail or any more false threats, I'll see you in court myself, my friend. You have a great day, Rossendales.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.